There is a desperate attempt by the president to make sure that his Mount Kenya tour that is supposed to come in about a week's time turns out to be very, very successful. Like, he's trying to make sure that this thing happens. Apparently, the ground is not having it. The ground has decided, the ground is very, very, very hostile to the president. And for him to mitigate all these things, he's trying to come up with ways in which he's going to ensure that that will happen, that his tour is not going to be like the way it turned out in Nairobi, whereby there was low people turning up, people had to be bought, and there was a lot of robbing by those people who are following the president motorcade. So the president has even goes to an extent of calling out the holding a meeting with members of parliament from the mountain region, and apparently this is not also going as it is expected. So before I go into all these explanations as to why the president is desperate for doing this and all these other reasons, I want you to take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you'll always be the first to watch. My name is the African Updater, and what we do here, we analyze politics and also bring you up to speed on what is happening across the country. So hit the notification bell, subscribe, and then kama kawaida, I'll be back. Thank you guys for subscribing. So I've said here that the president is so desperate and very adamant of making sure that his tour of Mount Kenya becomes successful. The tour is coming in about a month, or not in about a month, in a few weeks time, maybe in about in a week or 2 weeks time. But why is the president preparing to go to that region? And as you can see, the preparation is trying to see he met members of parliament, as you can see in this picture, and you can see even how the members of parliament from Mount Kenya region, how they are so much disconnected. And from that meeting with the president, these members of parliament have also met Kindiki in his current home, and there was a lot of talking, a lot of saying this back and forth. Why is the president doing all this? Why is all this going on? It is because the ground is very hostile. Because the president has not done this for all the other regions. You remember when he did a tour of Nyanza, there was no these meetings that they were planning for 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. There was no such meetings in State House or anywhere. And then when he went to Coast, there was no such meetings. When he went to Northeastern, there was no such meeting. When he went to Western, there was no such meetings. Why is the president doing this? It is because the reality on the ground is that the ground is hostile. And the president is someone who receives intelligence. So ameambiwa, you just going to Mount Kenya the way you used to go when you are the darling of everyone. It is not going to work. It might turn out to be very bad for you. People might not even show up and everything. So he's trying to mitigate all this. So we want to look at why the reasons as to why Ruto is kindly facing the kind of tribulations he's now facing with Mount Kenya. Why are people hostile to him? But we also need to look at why is the president so adamant in going to Mount Kenya, despite the fact that the ground is so hostile to him. Why does he still insist he wants to go to Mount Kenya? Because in everything there's always a political angle with politicians. Politicians don't just make moves because they want to make moves. Unaelewa, everything is there's always a political angle to it. So those are the things we want to look into this video. We want to look into it, and you share your opinion, you share your thoughts as much as I will also do. I will also share mine. So I want you to watch these videos of people reacting. You get, there was these people on the ground reacting to the president's visit that is forthcoming, and I think it just maybe this video might just shed light on how the people on the ground feel about all this. So I just want you to watch to listen to this video, and then kama kawaida I'll be back.
Ruto tangu tumchague, na mimi mwenyewe ndio nilikuwa kwanza kumchagua, hakuna kitu ametufanyia hapa. Asikuje kutuambia mimi nimetenga sijui hii barabara sijui nini, akuja afungue mradi moja ile ametenga, hata hospitali moja ama shidano ya hospitali ametuletea hapa Nyeri. Ruto uongo wake umetufika mwisho. Na mimi hata akikuja hapa Nyeri, mimi sitakuwa Nyeri. yangu ya kwanza akikuja hapa mimi sitakuja kumwambia ama niseme nini yake. Mimi sitakuja hapa kwa mkutano yake. Hata akiniita mwenyewe na simu yangu sitakuja kwa nini yake, kwa mkutano yake, kwa sababu ni muongo na ametuganya.
The government, if Raila did not join the government, saizi the narrative could be that ule mtu anafanya Ruto asifanye kazi ni Raila. I come from Mount Kenya region. We have made Baba our hate object. We have always made him our hate object. I started supporting this mzee in 2016. That when I started Raila. And the easiest way to clean yourself in our region, saa hizi ukosea kama Ruto, kama Raila angeingia serikali kidogo tu, angeambiwa mtu ambaye anaharibu ni mganga. This is the one who is making this government not to do what? Not to perform. And me, in fact, I thank Raila for getting in. Because right now, they have known who the person Ruto is. They have come to their senses to the fact that kumbe Uhuru alikuwa anatuambia ukweli. But if...
Yes, guys. So, you have listened to that short soundbite. That is someone from the ground in Nyeri. That is someone on the ground in Nyeri saying how much they are not interested, how much the president hata kikuja ilani nini they don't care. So let's look at all this. Let's look at first how did the president find himself here? How did he find himself in this situation? This was a man that was loved by the people of Mount Kenya, that he was loved so much that even when Uhuru came, their own Jabba, the way they used to call him, even when their own prince came and told them that no, don't work with this guy, don't vote for this guy, they never listened to him. They still went ahead and voted for Ruto. Why did people vote for Ruto in Mount Kenya that much? It's because they felt like he was being oppressed by Uhuru. And as the Mount Kenya people say, they hate betrayal, which for me I feel like it's very sarcastic in the actual sense, like not even sarcastic, it's ironical when the Mount Kenya people say they hate betrayal, because these are the same people that have betrayed Raila over and over again. These are the same people that Raila has worked side by side with. These are the same people that Raila went out and campaigned for their leader Mwai Kibaki, and when they needed them kidogo, because when he needed them in 2022 they turned their back against him. So when they say that they hate betrayal, I really find it funny. I really find it like it's ironical to me. Anyway, so that is how they felt, and they rallied behind Ruto. But let's look at it from this angle. Did they really rally behind Ruto because they felt Ruto betrayed Uhuru betrayed Ruto? I don't think that's the thing. The reason why they went against Uhuru is because of their hate, is because of their like natural dislike for Raila. Let me not call it hate. Natural dislike for Raila. These people for the longest time have never liked Raila in whichever shape and form. So when Uhuru presented Raila, they went for the alternative, and the alternative was Ruto. So it is not because that they loved Ruto. That was not the case. That has never been the case. These people have never loved Ruto. It's because they felt like Ruto was an alternative to Raila, because deep down in their heart they feel like Raila should never ascend to any form of leadership. That is the reality. That is the truth. That is what these people cannot speak out and tell you, because these people have been wired from way back, from the time they were children. They have been wired to see Raila as someone who is not good. That is how they have been wired, as someone who doesn't deserve to be anywhere close to anything. I don't know if it's to the whole community. I wouldn't go into that direction, but I want to speak about Raila. So this is a man that they have been wired naturally to have a different a negative perspective, a negative opinion of him. And when Ruto presented himself, they feel like it's an opportune type. And you know, Ruto being a politician and someone who has been in politics for the longest time, alisoma ground na akajua, because he understands these people very well. He understands these people. So that is how he presented himself. He presented himself like as an alternative to, and that's why you see, even when he was campaigning, he used to bash Raila so much, because that is what these people wanted. Unaelewa? He used to aggravate their anger to make sure that they turn out in large numbers so that watume mganga nyumbani. So that is how Ruto found his support from Mount Kenya. And now moving forward, after the election and everything, and now he becomes the president. You get, now these people no longer see, they now no longer see value in the president, because the president now, when now you share patakiti, now they feel like they have dealt with Raila and they wamemweka in his rightful place. Now they come back to the person that they didn't love, which is the truth. They never loved the person in the first place. It was only that was the only alternative they have besides the person they never wanted, because that was it. So now they see this person that they never loved in the first place, and now this person has now making dalliance with everyone, and that is when the issue started. Because the issue with Ruto and Gachagua started that point when the president did that NADCO and that handshake thing with Raila. Because you remember when the Kenya Kwanza came into power, Gachagua used to keep on attacking Raila and saying that we mzee tumemalizana na wewe, hatutaki siasa ya nusu mkate, utaenda Bondo na nini na nini. He was the attack dog. He kept on attacking regardless, because that was the language in which Gachagua alichukuliwa for. Because that is why the president Ruto brought him made him the deputy president, because he was a good attack dog. And now he was attacking the person that he knew that by attacking Raila he could continue to marshal more votes for Ruto in 2022. And once they won, now the president saw that this man is not changing. This man is still anaendelea ku attack, but I'm the president. I still need to govern this country. I still need to have that ability to be moving around any part of this country, to campaign, to move around, and to do on my projects and everything. So he knew that at the end of the day he needs Raila, because Raila controls a bigger part of this country, and that's why he brought Raila on board. And this one did not sit well with Gachagua. So Gachagua, instead of now focusing on working for Kenyans, now started now poking holes into Kenya Kwanza government and everything. He started even attacking the president directly. You remember with the Gen Z and nini, and the president felt uncomfortable. You can't be my deputy, and now you are attacking me just 2 years to tangu tuingia kwa kiti. And that is how the president initiated the impeachment of Gachagua. And once he impeached Gachagua, now hell broke loose in Mount Kenya, because now they felt the same betrayal that they felt Uhuru was showing to Ruto. They felt that now he's doing the same to Gachagua. That is how the ground now become completely hostile for Ruto. So that is just the genesis of all this. And that is why now the president finds that to go to Mount Kenya. I know Mount Kenya people will not turn out violent. They might not come out to pelt stones and nini. It's not in their nature. But they will boycott most of the things. They will not turn up. Even if they'll turn up, they will just turn up, and then they'll just stand there and looking at you. And that is what the president doesn't want. That cold response. That is what he doesn't want. Because the people, if it was Nyanza, is different. People just throw stones at you and they don't care. So that is what the president is trying to mitigate, and that's why he's trying to mobilize the ground. There are some rumors that money is being sent around so that this money can be used to bribe people. There are some rumors that watu wanapewa mahindi na maragwe zinasambazwa huku chini ndio watu wapewe nini na mchele. All those things will not work. And I wish the president knew that all those things will not work. Like bring like the fact that Ruto went ahead and started working with Raila. In fact, that pact they have signed with Raila, that is what has sealed the nail on the coffin for Ruto's support in Mount Kenya. Because those people, it is not about what you do for them or not. It is about, are you working with Raila or not? Remember when Uhuru worked with Raila, they forgot all the development that Uhuru alipeleka Mount Kenya, and they hated the man so much. They hated their king so much. That is what is happening here. So it is not about how much development you will do, how many projects you will learn. These people, the fact that you associated yourself with Raila Odinga, that is enough for them to say that they don't want to see you, they don't want anything to, they will block their ears. That is the reality. So the issue here, the president should learn that the issue here, and the Kenyans should know that the issue here is about the man Raila. It's not about the development that Raila has brought. That is not about it. These people that you follow, even the Gachagua that you see. Unaelewa? Gachagua is just riding on that. He's just falling short of calling Raila out the way he used to attack him. Because he understands that he needs Raila. That is the reality. Gachagua, whether you people like it or not, Gachagua needs Raila for him to even feel like he will ever go anywhere or he'll ever have any impact in the Kenyan politics. Because right now, as he stands, he cannot run for 10 years. So he needs to be the kingmaker in Mount Kenya. And you cannot be the kingmaker with your community alone. You need to do something so big that you make sure that it will have an impact in the whole country. And he can't do it without Raila. He needs Raila. That's why he's just falling short of calling out Raila. But remember, this is the man that at the end of the day, deep down in his heart, you could see videos, he could come out openly and call Raila and tell Raila that Mount Kenya, Raila is unacceptable in Mount Kenya in whatever shape or form. So this is a man who has deep resentment for Raila. And that will never change in him. So when you hear that even Raila coming out to call Gachagua that, no, I can't work with you, it's because he understands the man. He understands that to the man, politics is personal. But to other people, you know, that is the difference with Gachagua and other people. That Gachagua's hate, not even hate, Gachagua's form of resentment is so personal. But to other people, it's never personal. To Ruto, it's never personal. Ruto can work with anybody, anytime. Utamtusi leo, kesho anashake your hands, na unasonga mbele. Gachagua, Raila, the same. Kalonzo, the same. These are people who have lived, who have been in politics, they understand. They understand that in politics, nothing is personal. The only thing that is personal is the interest. So they can call each other name and later they shake. Look at how Raila and Ruto are now riding and rolling together like they have always been buddies. But back then they used to attack each other so much to a point whereby even Raila's life was threatened. So that is how politics is. But for Gachagua, it's too personal. But Gachagua understands that that is the language that Mount Kenya people understand. Mount Kenya take things too personal. You know, with the other people, with Raila supporters, they will always be shifty. They will always feel like, ile lisha, we are now in a new, because they understand how to move with the emotions, the way it's flowing. But for people, our people in the Mount Kenya, it's kind of different. So that is what the reality is. So all this development that the president will try to do and everything here and there, it will amount to nothing. He will go, the crowds will be rented, people will come, people will cheer him and everything, but deep down in their heart, they know that we are not voting for this man, we are not working with this man. So that is the reality. So let me go to another point. Why do you feel like the president is so desperate in going to Mount Kenya? The president knows the people of Mount Kenya have left him kitambo. He knows that very well. But why is still going? He's going there because his focus is very simple. He wants to reduce the influence of Gachagua. He doesn't want Gachagua to control Mount Kenya entirely in its entirety. He doesn't want that. That's why he's going there. He's trying to push other leaders so that other people can come up, so that at least Mount Kenya votes can be split. That is what the president wants. The president's real intention and his only political intention is to split the Mount Kenya votes. And trust you me, being a person with the president and has got all the influence, he's going to do that. Moi did that successfully, and now he's going to do that. Ruto will make sure that Gachagua doesn't control that so much influence in Mount Kenya. And Gachagua understands this very well. So Gachagua will keep on concentrating his politics in Mount Kenya because he needs to keep Mount Kenya together to make sure that they send Ruto home. So it's a game. It's not like development, and the president will go there with his usual promises. But the reality on the ground is that this is a man who is just adamant in making sure that these people don't vote in one place in come 2027. He splits the votes. So thank you guys. That was it from me. Thank you for the return subscriber. Thank you for people who have watched this for the video for the first time. Remember what we do here, we analyze politics, but as above it all, we always remain respectful. We don't use abusive language on this platform. So kindly, if you are commenting, always stick to the same. We will need to create a safe space for everyone to share their opinion. I'm not always right, and I'll never always be right, and I'm not always wrong. I'll never always be wrong. Same to you who is commenting. So let's try to be respectful, not to grow. Thank you. Until next time. Baadaye.
The African Update.